Well, welcome to the Annie Show. I'm so excited because I have an amazing young man who's just rocking Toronto, and it's none other than Nico Bachgalupo. Welcome to the show, Nico.
Thank you so much.
Did I say it right?
You did. You did.
I'm so happy about that.
Amazing job.
Yes, thank you, thank you. I want to say there's so much we got to talk about.
Yes.
So you know what? Let's forget all the formalities and let's just go straight into it.
Let's do it.
Tell us a little bit about Nico.
Tell you a little bit about Nico. Been involved in entertainment and marketing since I was 16. So I've been doing it for about 22, 23 years now. Started out in the music industry. People always say, Nico, how did you become an entrepreneur? I'm like, well, I was the plus one for my DJ, a DJ who was my roommate. So that really got me backstage, got me a chance to network with different people, and that's kind of where it all kind of started from there. As far as like throwing little club events and got to like charity events and got more and more and more. So now I'm doing a couple other different things.
Are you like the wingman?
Yeah, sometimes.
It's good to be that, eh?
It's good to be that. Sometimes it's good to have that as well, right?
So you just recently moved to Toronto just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
So what happened prior to 3 years ago?
Prior to 3 years ago, I was in Miami for 5 years, New York for about 5 years, LA for 2 years. I was born in Calgary, but I actually had lived here in Toronto about 13 years ago, just for 2 years when I was going to Ryerson.
Oh, I didn't realize you were born in Canada.
Yeah,
I thought you were born outside, but your family is originally from Bolivia?
My father's from Bolivia and my mother is Serbian.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's a nice combination.
Yes.
But so tell us more about, did you always want to be, did you know what you wanted to be when you were growing up?
You know, when I was like much younger, I was big into sports. Actually, I was playing soccer for many years. And I really thought that was going to be the path I was going to go down. And then that kind of changed once I had a bit of a motorcycle accident, and that kind of changed my career. But now I love the event game. It's very, stressful. It's kind of like go, 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 go. But I think I thrive in that kind of an atmosphere. So I think
it's a lot of energy in that industry, eh?
For sure. And you've got to really be adaptable to all the different types of personality types that you're dealing with.
Absolutely, because you wear a lot of hats.
Yes.
I mean,
literally.
Literally, you have 16 hats?
Right now I have 15. I actually
50.
threw one away. Yeah. So.
You mean between last week and this week you threw one away?
Yes. Yes.
So literally you wear a lot of hats.
Yes.
What are some of the hats that you wear?
Well, I have a company called Madflower Creative Group, and we've got 5 main divisions: marketing, events, talent management, tour management, and festival production.
So let's talk a little bit about each one of those.
Sure. So marketing, I mean, basically, I went to school for it. My degree is in international marketing. I went to Iona University in New Rochelle, New York. And I mean, I just love project management, product development, taking a brand that we work with either through the events or that are trying to get into the marketplace and kind of get them exposure and buzz for through different types of marketing campaigns. As far as events, that's really kind of my bread and butter, I guess you could say. I've been doing that for a long time. Yes, that pays the bills, and that's what I've been doing for a long time. So I've produced events in Istanbul, in London, in New York, LA, Miami, all the different places I've lived, of course. And I really like doing the different events in totally different markets, because then you've got to kind of adapt to the different cultures there. The different groups have different ways of doing things. And honestly, I always tell people that I don't produce events, I create experiences. It's kind of
absolutely. I heard through when I first met you at an event, I was told you got to meet Nico. He has this really cool, crazy parties. Because he is a connector and the type of people who connect with you. And if somebody doesn't know you, they wouldn't know that.
Sure.
But the type of people you, and you can, or may if you choose to mention some of the names, because that's your credibility. I mean, it is what it is. You are good at what you do. So, you got to connect with Nico. And I was like, okay, you know what? And we met and we talked and so forth. And, but you're doing amazingly with amazing people.
Oh, thank you. I mean, one forte of
and you've earned it.
I mean, I've worked hard to do it. The main thing is one of my main fortes is connecting good people, positive, progressive people.
Nico?
You're on that list. Anthony's on the list. I mean, with each different kind of person I meet, I kind of like understand what they're doing, and this city of Toronto is just thriving as far as in the realm of entrepreneurship, and everybody's doing so many great things, such as you guys.
Thank you.
Of course. No, so I mean, I think that it's just a matter of kind of keeping your head on straight, aligning yourself with the right people, and just kind of doing things the best way we can.
You know, with the person who introduced us, I have high respect for him. So when he said that, I said, okay, you know what? If he's saying that to me, there must be a reason why he's saying that, because I know he highly respect you as well.
Sure.
To that extent. What is some of the, if somebody wants to, a lot of people want to promote and brand and market people.
Right.
What are some of the mistakes that they make as an entrepreneur?
As an
'Cause everybody feels that they can do something.
Especially on the event side of things too. Everyone wants to be a promoter. Everybody wants to produce an event and kind of have it be known that they're the event planner.
That's not easy.
It's not at all.
It's not
It's not
easy.
at all. There's a very big misconception in the event game that it's easy to just kind of go put an event together and have people show up, especially on a consistent basis. I'm blessed blessed to the fact that I've got probably a loyal group of about 300 people here in the city that whenever we do a Mad Flower Creative Group event, they come out because they know what to expect. They know the standard of the expectation is going to be met as far as the demographic of the people there. They know that they're going to meet people that they're going to want to meet, just because like a huge amount of my circle are entrepreneurs themselves, industry leaders, just because I've known them for many, many years. Before I moved here to Toronto, I actually came here twice a year, every year for about probably 7 years. And that was for Fashion Week and for Toronto Film Fest. And so I met a lot of the key influencers when I used to come to Toronto for those two events.
So, tip here. If someone wants to have an event,
Yeah.
what's the number one tip? Hire an event manager? Definitely pay for what, you get what you pay for.
Sure, you totally do. A lot of people like to cut corners and you can tell when you come to the event if someone's cut corners and they don't really care about it, or if they're really just concerned about the money, then you can tell that is kind of the mindset of the event planner. As far as to answer your question, I think one of the really key things to have to be in place is the relationship with the venue. I have a couple projects coming up that we actually are working directly with the venue owners,
That's nice,
and that's so important, as opposed to
I
just
agree.
going and renting a
I
space.
agree.
And
agree.
I've had horror stories, as I'm sure many of
agree.
your viewers have. So
And this is one of the things that people keep shopping around. I mean, like for example, right now we're sitting in, Lyrics Music Bar.
For sure. Here in
Absolutely.
Yorkville, yeah.
Yeah, here in Yorkville, and you have this event. Let's talk about the event. It
Sure.
happens every Wednesday, and then we'll talk about other things as well. So tell us about what's happening here, because you have a relationship with them.
Yes.
You build a relationship with them, and that's why we're here.
Yes.
We will be here every Wednesday too with you. So tell us what's going on here.
So about a month and a half ago, my team and I came up with a concept called the Green Room. It's something that I've done in other markets before as well. And as you know, Green Room is backstage of the Grammys or the Much Music Video Awards or whatever. It's where the publicists are with the musicians or with the label executives, and that's kind of called the Green Room. So taking that same concept in play, we decided to do a weekly here at Lyrics in Yorkville, where we kind of have a platform to showcase all the talent, and music-wise, fashion-wise, art-wise, that's in the city. There isn't really something like that here in the city. There used to be a while back, but I really thought that was a niche that really needed to be filled. And so we've had some great music acts, already come through. We've only done four or five editions of the Green Room here, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. We're aligning ourselves with great brands. This is actually one of our brands.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Blossom Water, yeah.
Yeah, let's sidetrack for a moment.
Of course.
So tell us about the.
So Blossom Water is.
Since you mentioned it.
Yeah, it's basically a tea and flower infused beverage. It's amazing. I mean, my biggest thing with working with all these different brands is I can only promote something if I really like it.
Yes,
Like I can't be like, this is amazing, and then be
Yes.
like, okay, have a sip, and I'm like, no, it's okay, Like as you can see, I'm actually consuming
Yes,
it.
you did. You're having a whole bottle.
Yes,
Nico.
but it's really great. A great product. It's distributed all over, I believe, worldwide, if not in North America.
Because they have this one is pomegranate.
Yeah,
and the other one
pomegranate is grapefruit, and then
this one is grapefruit.
Yeah.
This one plum. Oh, this one is grapefruit.
This
The
one's
that you're
grapefruit, and
drinking
this one's plum.
this
Look,
one's
I have a
plum.
whole array of different things, different flavors.
Is this locally produced?
I believe, no, I think it's actually in the States, but we work closely with the brand management here, and we're looking to do many events. Besides Green Room, they've been a great supporter, along with our other sponsors for the Green Room. But
I'll mention some of those.
yeah, as far as the other sponsors?
The sponsors.
Yeah, we've got Cocoa Cool, which is a coconut water. My partner's North Fifth. They actually are one of the event partners as well. And then we've got a bunch of other great brands and organizations and just people that want to really do something a little bit different here in the city, and they kind of understand our vision. it is hard to do on a consistent basis, like every week. So with each edition that we do, we're really learning more things and what kind of genres are we going to showcase. So just kind of trial and error, see which kind of musicians work. We do have some monthly residencies with some of our artists. AJ, he's this amazing MC that performed at our last one. Pluto, who's
Marcos. I know Marcos.
Marcos Mendoza.
Yes, I do. I
Yeah.
saw him for your birthday.
Yes.
I've known him for about a year
Great
now.
guy.
I know
Yeah,
him
he's like a
as well.
motivational speaker.
Yes,
Sure.
yes, absolutely. I know him, and of course we bought Shami. Well, actually, we didn't. I even bought Shami along.
Yes.
Yeah, as well. Phenomenal. We had some.
She did fantastic, yeah.
Amazing. Some record producers and so forth came
Yep.
along, and so there is a very. The crowd here is very diverse. You never know who you could bump because I was very
100%.
surprised when I came and I actually
Sure.
knew a few people.
Sure.
I didn't think I was going to know anyone here, and I met about 6 people I knew.
Yeah.
And met more too as well.
No, it's like 2 degrees of separation, and
Yes.
it's all a matter of, I think people were really just waiting for something like this. Testament to the fact by when we launched the Green Room, we came up with the idea so last minute that we only had 3 days to kind of like promote it on social media. And within 3 days, luckily it was during TIFF. It was right before TIFF actually. It was a pre-TIFF reception. We had 550 people within 3 days.
Upstairs, or is it 3 days?
Come through.
Come
yeah.
through here.
So basically 3 days prior,
amazing.
we literally had 500 people that came through, and that was through, due to the partnerships of people like Manuel Canales and a bunch of other people that were helping promote through their own respective channels. On top of that, the performers. The performers are like, hey, I'm performing here. Please come see me. So that's what it's been. It's been a real collaborative effort for people coming together for the Green Room.
Amazing, and that's the evening. Now, the first time I was here, you had you do sort of auditions for models. Because
Yep.
I know you do. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So sometimes
'Cause that's
with-
leading up to something.
It
I wanna
is, yes. We've been, my company, Mad Flower Creative Group, has been given the opportunity to produce some pre-events for Mississauga Fashion Week. So we did casting a couple weeks ago, where we were kind of just determining which models would be in actually Mississauga Fashion Week, which is the first fashion show is coming up on November 14th. So, and that's going to be basically supported by the mayor of Mississauga, Bonnie Crombie, and with her whole like arts and culture initiatives. And so I'm working with her team, and it's great. It's a great group of people, and really looking forward to kind of something different than Toronto Fashion Week coming to kind of the realm of fashion, right? So looking forward to it.
So, which other hat project are you working on? Do you mean? I know there's some that's still a little
Yeah.
bit in the works, but is there anything else? that
Sure,
you
yeah,
can
right
talk
now,
about?
of course, with putting such a kind of talented dream team, if you will, together for...
You do have that.
Yeah.
Because for the Fashion Week, it's
Yeah.
a few people. And I know you're running that one because when I asked you to speak to a friend or to speak to AJ, anyway, his name.
Ariane?
Ariane, sorry.
Yeah.
You said, no, you're the one to speak to regarding the Fashion Week. So
Great.
you're pretty much taking the hat.
I mean,
position
you
for
know,
that.
I hit it off with him really well. I mean, he kind of understood kind of what I do and what my team does, and so he's really given me the opportunity to work with his team and him to work with our team, or his team to work with ours, just to make this happen for Mississauga Fashion Week. But as far as events like this in Toronto, that's kind of on one side of things. On the other side is I do events all over North America. So another one that our group is putting together is at Sundance Film Festival. Last January, we did a great event with some other partners in the States for Kwaku Mandela, Nelson Mandela's grandson, and we showcased a film called The Abolitionist, which is for anti-human trafficking. It went incredibly well, so we are already now planning our next Sundance event as well, and that's going to be in January in Park City, Utah.
One of the cool things I love about what you do is the fact that you really think outside the box. You don't think
Thank
about,
you.
okay, we have a few venues here, and I'm not here to disrespect any venues
Yeah.
locally, but you look at places where the you see you have to fit the venue with the project,
Sure.
as well as the people.
Sure.
So there's some, and like we wouldn't talk about that one, but we're talking about you can look outside the GTA to find some amazing areas that you can have this. Now, of course, it may not be easy to, but again, it's collaborating with the landowners and the
For sure.
space and so forth. Because people don't think about that. They
They
think
don't.
about, but again, a lot of them are scared. They want to have big events, but they're scared where to go out and venture.
Yeah, I mean, especially, Toronto's a growing city, right? So there's so many different venues and as options to work with. Luckily, I've got long-term partnerships or long-term friendships with a lot of the venue owners and management. But I always like to, kind of work with new venues as well. I mean, I'll still work with some of these old spaces as well.
But it depends on the event that you want to put on.
Yes.
But if you want to stay small, you'll always be small.
Yeah.
And if you want to be big, you have to be collaborating with someone or say, okay, you know what? Let me hire someone who can do this. If
Yes.
you want to go big.
Yes.
Don't limit yourself.
No, I'm always reaching for the stars.
Yes.
I always will be, right until the end.
No, that's why you're still single, right? Because I ask if you can sleep, and you say don't sleep much. Because again, I mean, we laugh and fun and joke about it, but a lot of people are beginning to see in this industry, and a lot of industries too, even coaches and so forth, is the fact that they really don't have a life. And you pretty much international conference calls day and night because you have to respect the time
Sure.
zone for everybody else.
Yes.
And they expect you to show up.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like, we'll do conference calls with 4 or 5 in the morning, and it's the middle of their day over in Asia or Russia or England. So it's like basically, we got to kind of be on point, and then be up again for the rest of the day, right? And then a couple hours later. So.
As an entrepreneur and everything you're doing, which is
Yes.
the most successful event that you believe you've put on so far? That really knocked it out of the park?
That's a hard one.
I mean, there's so many of them, but you can't pick one.
There's so many.
He's that good at what he does.
I mean,
That
I've
he's so
probably
proud of everything that you do.
No, I mean, there's ups and
He
downs
has a
with the
Midas
event
touch,
game.
right?
There's definitely ups and downs. I mean, there's good events, there's bad events. But I mean, one of the ones that
What's
really
the biggest
stick
one
out.
you did?
Biggest event I did was my partner and I introduced a DJ by the name of Tiesto, who's one of the biggest DJs in the world now. He had never been to North America, and we brought him here to the Docks in 1999. And so he.
And that's a huge venue.
Huge venue. We had about I'd say 6,000, 5,000 people, and that was a long time ago. And that was like a lot of work. I was much younger at that time. I was learning more than you can imagine, and so that was a really big deal.
It was well worth it.
It was well worth it. I mean, my partner and I wrote an email to the label, Black Hole Recordings, and said, it's very, it'd be a huge opportunity for Tice to come here. His name's, Tiesto's name, and they gave us the opportunity, and we did it, and we succeeded with it, and we established ourselves in the city. At that time as one of the good event planners. So.
Why did you reach out to him? Was it something that you knew of him, or you knew him personally, or he was looking for? You decided that why not reach out to him? Do you remember what was the reason why
I was a huge fan of his. Like, I mean, I was a very big fan of him, and so then I went down that whole path. It was like kind of the genre of trance music. So it was like then after that we did Armin van Buuren and. Ferry Corsten, just a whole bunch of different acts. I mean, I'm trying to jog my memory because I've probably produced somewhere in the neighborhood of about 350 events. So,
oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, over the years of doing this. But I'm trying to think of the other ones that really. I mean, the one at Sundance, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the team I worked with for that. Also in Calgary, I did a fundraiser event called the Golden Ticket, which was kind of named after Willy Wonka's.
I was going to say,
yeah.
Is this a Willy Wonka? Are you a big Willy Wonka fan?
I mean, I'm not really a big Willy Wonka fan, but
it was resonated.
Like, it resonated. It was a great event. We had Oompa Loompas. We had actually these girl dancers that were under the height of 5'2". So they all were dressed like Oompa Loompas going down the catwalk.
People resonate with that story, so
sure.
Obviously it's a selling point too as well. But you have to make it fun.
Yes.
And it resonates with someone. But one of the things I like is the fact that you love this artist.
Yes.
And you decide to reach out.
Sure.
Why not? And some people are really scared to reach out because they're just people like you and I.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's just people you and I, and you never know.
And I never, I didn't know whether they were going to say yes or that kind of thing. I remember my partner at the time took the risk, and it worked. And then now I saw him just in New York a couple months ago, and he immediately remembered me. He was like, oh, probably because of the fedora, obviously. But he was just like, yeah, how are things in Toronto? So, I have that kind of relationship with him that I actually took that, well, not just me, but my partner and I took that step to really bring him here. And now he's, comes here all the time.
Cool. Let's talk about as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Okay. You meet a lot of entrepreneurs.
Yes.
What are some of the mistakes? Because you're going into a mentoring state now
Yep.
as a leader and mentor.
Yes.
Because you work in so many industries, you work with so many entrepreneurs. Where do you see some of the successes? I'd like to start with the successes that you see happening here in terms of, maybe 5 years ago or 10 years ago, but some of the things that's happening now. Because a lot of people are becoming entrepreneurs now.
They are.
And there are challenges too, and we'll talk about
Oh,
that.
for sure. I mean, I myself am dealing with an issue right now where there's just too much. There's so many opportunities that you don't know which direction to go in. And as an entrepreneur, you really just want to kind of capitalize on something that really seems right. But what happens if everything seems right and you want to go in all different directions at the same time? That's something that is really not suggested, because then you don't go fully to its capacity for each respective
You gotta
project.
focus it.
And you have to focus your energies onto like maybe one or a few. So that's something I'm battling with myself right now.
You get hit on a lot of times. You get hit on a lot with different, like I said, especially the MLM companies and
Yes.
so forth. A lot of them.
Of course.
A lot of them.
Of course.
And it's funny, some of them will come to you and say, do you know this company? This company's been around for a long time. But one of the things and I'm going to say this, really, it's one of my pet peeves, is the fact that somebody would meet you at an event, sit in front of you, behind you, and give you a card,
Yeah.
and say, can you please refer people to me? Hello?
Yeah.
I
I know.
figured
It's
that one
like,
out. And I was like, okay, there's one girl gave me 3 cards in the event.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do I need 3 cards?
yeah. Oh, with like all the different types of businesses.
No,
that
the
they
same
do?
card.
Oh, okay.
There's a myth, say, if you give one, give it to somebody else, give it to somebody else. Why would I give you a card to somebody I don't even know who you are?
I know. That's kind of.
you
I've
get
never,
that?
I've never really. Yeah, I get that, and I've never really used that tactic before. I'm glad that our circle here in Toronto is like that we mainly kind of are come out and support the events. They're entrepreneurs that are really wanting to meet other people and kind of understand what they're doing and find out how they can integrate.
They
within
wanna
it.
grow.
They want
They
to
wanna
grow.
grow.
They want to align themselves properly, and as you said, a lot of them think outside of the box. So
And that's
which
my
is,
kind of people.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's why I wanted
Maybe
you
I'm
guys-
hanging around the wrong group. Now I'm the right group now, Nico, because I'm tired of actually having that. And I guess I'm not here to disrespect anyone
Sure.
whatsoever. However, there comes a time when we just have to say enough is enough.
Yes.
As an entrepreneur,
Yes.
as a mentor, as a leader. You can't bombard people with everything.
No.
It just wears them out. And you lose respect.
You do. I mean, it's all about kind of proper planning, execution, alignment, communication. I mean, these are all really key principles that as an entrepreneur we should really be incorporating within our life. So,
What are the 5 things, possibly, if you can give me 5 of the core principles or values that you live by?
well, my nationalities, Italian, Bolivian, Serbian, all have a common thread between all of them, is that passion, family, and respect.
In
is
that
like
order?
Amongst, no, they all kind of but it's all 3 of them.
Yes.
I mean, family is so important to me. I mean, passion for what I do and in my life and is very important to me, and respect always, because but all 3 of my nationalities are really kind of, grounded in those principles. So.
And this one of the things that we talk about as from Trinidad myself.
Yes.
We always try to rebel when we're growing up, but I always said with my mom, and they didn't know what we knew, but there was some solid foundations, and now I appreciate it to a certain extent.
Sure.
As an adult, as a mother, as
Yeah.
a business owner, because my dad was a business owner, that we appreciate that. And some of the things that they did that I didn't agree with now, but they did the best they can at
Sure.
that time. And
Sure.
it's unfortunate that they didn't know what we knew, and didn't have the mentors, and have the leaders, and struggled.
Sure.
So what are some of the core things that you
Well, I mean, you touched on the mentor aspect of things, and I've actually, not really had a full-on mentor in my whole life, and now where people are like, Nico, I want to kind of mentor you. I want to be kind of like your apprentice or protege or.
I mean, you mentor
okay.
them.
Yeah, they're
They
kind
come
of
to you.
looking to me to
Yes.
kind of show them the ropes and.
You know
and
why that is?
I love that.
You know why that is?
Why?
Because once you position yourself, and we all are teachers,
Yeah.
and we all are students at some point.
Yes.
So I'm just going to say this for example, because we're in a different mindset, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. You are a student under someone who has a higher
Yes.
mindset than you are.
Sure.
But then you have your models and so forth,
Yeah.
which is their mind, they want to grow, so that's what it is. So they look up to you.
Right.
So it's not a matter of you have to spend $100,000 and so forth behind some of these mentors. It's the fact that people respect you and what you're doing. And it could be a very simple thing. It could be just a conversation.
Yeah.
It could be something they just putting them in the right circles, in the right direction. That's what it is.
Sure.
They look at you as somebody who knows what you're doing.
Yeah, which is great, and
And you're not
I'm
perfect.
grateful
We're not
for that.
perfect. Too.
No, of course not.
But again, you learning too because you're looking at other people
Yes.
in the industry, other people that you surround yourself
sure,
with.
for
So
sure.
again, you may not, they may not charge you the dollars for it, but you can pick up all the classic books and read, and by reading and so
Yeah.
forth. And you have to keep educating yourself. So
You
you are
do.
the teacher, and
You
you
do.
also are the student at the same time.
No, definitely. And I used to read, a little bit more than I do now, and I've just found
You
that.
should get back to it a bit as a ritual.
Yeah,
Really, seriously.
The only thing is I found that like reading books, like in the time that I would read a book, I could have like 5 conversations with someone and learn about what they do and how they do
True.
things. So I'd much rather read people than read books, but that's just the
It
phase
depends
I'm
on
in
the
right
book. Depends on the
Sure.
book you're reading too, as well. Because sometimes it's a habit.
Yeah.
It's a habit you have to develop because again, it's for education, and you may have missed. I just read a book called the Secret of the Law of Attraction,
Okay.
as explained by Napoleon Hill. And it's funny, I started to read Think and Grow Rich a long time ago. I never finished it. But this book is comparing some of the other books, about 3 of them that
Okay.
he wrote. It's amazing.
now. Very cool.
Yeah.
I should
So
definitely check it out.
You should check it out. I actually took it on my bag before I came here. But it's amazing. And I was looking for the book, and this one stumbled in my hand. And I was like, you know what? Maybe this is what I'm supposed to read. I just
great.
finished it 2 days ago, and I'm going to read it back again. Because there's some exercise I did.
Sure,
But,
sure.
But again, it's just to put you back in that time of mind frame, because sometimes we have to go back and check, and we have to get ourselves back into, we may drift a bit.
Yes.
We need some support, spiritually,
Yes.
mentally, and we don't have someone at once. We just pick something up just to give us a boost if we need to.
I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree. I'm kind of in I guess everybody, when their birthday happens, which, my birthday just happened last weekend, but everybody goes through this epiphany moment where they're like, oh, I need to make changes and this and this, but I really have been in a stage of reflection over the last 4 days fully. So I've just been looking at everything in my life and
Constantly
how it's
tweaking.
organized, constantly tweaking.
Tweaking,
I'm a bit of a
cleansing, deleting.
perfectionist. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm kind of focusing on now. I'm ready to kind of start a next chapter.
Let's talk about the next chapter.
Okay.
Where do you see yourself in this next chapter? Because I know you're a very spiritual person too.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it. Where do you see yourself going from this? Because you've made your mark. You continue to make your mark.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself going now?
Right now, I think it's all about, just because I come from a marketing background, it's all about positioning my brand. So me as a brand, people know me by, my own signature fedora,
Yes.
or who I'm with or whatever kind of thing. But I honestly am really positioning my brand now, aligning myself with the right people.
Yes.
Like not really, trying to take on too much. I think I used the word compartmentalizing in my Facebook status. So just basically compartmentalizing all the different things that are coming at me, alignment, trying to just better myself with each day that goes by. Just because I kind of people, with all the different things going on every day, it's hard to just stay on point all the time.
You
And
have
so,
to.
and you have to, or you have to strive to do so. So,
Because you're outside the box.
yeah,
Outside the box, people cannot stay in the box. So if you've done it, it's not new anymore. You get bored.
fully.
But you also want to know how you can top that up to take it
Yes.
to the next level.
Yeah. And that's, I think, also one thing that I am good at is doing is really kind of creating a buzz and engaging people towards something that's different and new. So I appreciate you saying that I'm out of the box, because that's definitely the way I've kind of lived my whole life. My whole mantra is just to kind of keep striving towards doing things like, better and different and in a more creative way. Like even with with my marketing company, I handle a lot of sponsorship acquisition and activation. So I work with these brands, and they're like, well, Nico, how are you going to position our brand, or what are you going to do for us? And I always tell them, well, you know what, a lot of people, they're going to think you want like a logo on a flyer or a logo on a website or something like that. And I really look at ways to creatively activate the brand. Like just as an example, we were, doing fashion shows a while back in Calgary, and we like look to make the catwalk out of like water bottles, you know, like Fiji water bottles kind of thing, you know. So that was kind of activation.
Make it
fun, and so that when people leave, they're not like, oh, I just got a water bottle on the seat in the fashion show, but the catwalk was made out of water bottles. Like those are kind of things, or have like, you know, top graffiti artists spray paint, you know, vehicles or something like that, and then kind of have that car as the sponsor. So it's good ways to kind of engage the people that are coming to the events, and so that then they can truly remember what the products were that they interacted with.
Well, you know, Nico, we're just going to take a break and be right back. Okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
And we're back with Nico. And you know, Nico, we've been sitting here talking so much until the time just went by. But I don't want to leave this without you looking out there and from your heart, just send a message out to our audience, your fans, and everyone who's looking out there. Whatever it is you want to say.
No pressure at all, right?
No pressure at all, Nico.
Well, honestly, first off, thank you so much for having me on the show.
You're very welcome. And also mention how we can get in contact
for
with
sure.
you.
Let's start out with the easy part. So you can get a hold of me by emailing me at thegreenroomtoronto@gmail.com. Very easy, thegreenroomtoronto@gmail.com. We're in the process of creating our website and everything now. Or you could find me on social media, Nico, Nico Bacigalupo. And as far as to leave you with a message, I just honestly, what I would say is that, you know, just be conscious about what you do in your life. As an entrepreneur, sometimes we don't realize that we have to have accountability for our actions, and it's something I'm learning about every day. So realize that even if you do something you maybe feel it's not right for you to do it, you got to know how you're affecting others as well. So you know, keep reaching for the stars, as I always say. And you know, I love being an entrepreneur, and I love helping entrepreneurs. So if any way I can help you, then contact me, and align yourself with amazing people such as these, as always. And no, that's about it. You know, just keep fighting the battle, and keep reaching for your dreams.
Thank you. I've met Nico for such a short time, a couple months, and really got to know you very closely recently. And I want to thank you so much for sitting here with us, introducing us to this whole new world.
Yes.
And it's so much that we can do to collaborate together. But I want to say, knowing Nico and the short conversations we've had and the time we visited, the passion in this young man, I have to say young because he's younger than me, this passion in this young man is incredible. And what he's done, and the associations, because he's outside the box and he's willing to step outside the box.
The Deanne and You Show puts a spotlight on Canadian entrepreneurship and includes a wide demographic to showcase the success and struggles in developing a new business. Come and explore new Canadian business through our conversations with you. The Deanne and You Show is the beacon of Canadian entrepreneurship.